What's up, y'all? Dumptruck, Jamie Hacking here with Sawicki Speed, and today is all about the Sportster. Now, before a bunch of y'all start talking trash about things you don't know, let me tell you why the Sportster is so rad. And this especially goes for Jamie because it's like his favorite thing to do.
Hey, the sport goes way back.
It does.
With some 883 racing and AMA, I mean, that brings back some good memories.
Oh, tell me about that memory.
Okay, right? Well, I was fortunate enough to ride one of them, right? I got to watch those guys race those, and I must say, that's impressive when you take a bike that's not meant to go around a racetrack and ride it at Daytona and some of the racetracks we raced in AMA back in the early 90s. That was pretty cool. You know, that was back when Don Tilley had a whole Harley team. Good times. I mean, so I've seen the history of that brand grow over the years, and now we've even got a cool pipe to go on.
We do. Actually, the Sportster has been around since 1957, and it is the longest model that is in Harley-Davidson's modern production line. So one of the things that makes it really cool, yeah, you can set up for wherever you want. You can be boring and ride it stock and we'll never hang out. Or you can do things that let you race from around a racetrack.
Hey, I mean, last year we did a quick little thing with a local guy here, local A1 Mike, right?
Yeah.
He bought a bike off Facebook Marketplace. Within 5 days, we transformed that thing over and took it over to a local dirt track and went dirt tracking and put one of our street pipes on that bike, and it worked flawless. It was awesome. I mean, so it goes to say, you can do anything with this bike, basically.
You absolutely can. You can make it chopper, you can make it adventure, you can make it a race bike. Right now, we're going to make it a little bit cooler than what it was. So let's go ahead and do the install video of this exhaust so that when you get your next Sportster or you're ready to wake the one up you have, you know exactly how to install our exhaust pipe.
Hey, also, just because it's sporty, obviously everybody thinks this 49 exhaust should be cheaper. No, our exhaust is still the same 3 or 4 quality materials, lifetime warranty, right? You get the same quality as you will with all our higher end exhausts, as you will say.
Yeah, well, that's the great thing about us. We just have one end of exhaust, that's just the high end, baby.
Let's install it.
All right.
We're going to install our 2-in-1 today on this 2017 Sportster 48, our 2-in-1 coating system. Obviously, as you see, we've already got our foot controls removed, our primary belt cover removed so we can put our bracketry on here. We'll go ahead and start with putting our bracket on. I'm going to apply just a little bit of Loctite to these bolts here, not much. Covers aluminum, no over tightening. Alright, now we're going to go and install our O2 reducers into both of our primary pipes. I'm just going to use an adjustable wrench here to tighten these up. Make sure you get these good and snug. There is no gasket on these. Alright, we can go ahead and install our O2 sensors and our primary reducers. I put a little bit of anti-seize on those as well. Those do have gaskets at the bottom of them. Now we're going to go and put our flanges on. This is where I see a lot of people make a mistake here. I'm going to show you and I'm going to explain to you. So obviously the collar goes on first, then the spring. The spring is beveled from where it was on the pipe before. It's beveled like that. So when it was on there, it was beveled up against the spring. That bevel needs to be, I don't know if you can see it or not, how it's beveled upwards this way. That needs to go on there just like this. The same angle as it came off of the pipe. I use these fancy little pullers here. It makes it a lot easier to get on. This is the next step that's critical. that spring, if that spring is not located inside that clip and you go to install it, this flange doesn't sit correctly. I see this a lot. It's just easy, just tap that spring down in there and get it seated. That way it sits nice and flat and even. That's very important when we're doing this. I've caught a lot of guys, they have install issues and they come to find out they don't have the spring in there the right way and they don't even have it seated in that recess. And we'll do the same for the back one. Flange, spring, bowed up. That needs to go this way. Tap it down in there. And then sometimes these things get bent, like this one here is pretty bent up. And you may have to replace these springs sometime. You can't get it seated down in there. Supply gaskets. Make sure you pull out the OE gaskets, which are these right here, tapered. Do not leave those in there. I've had guys make a mistake and go, well, I went ahead and left the OE gaskets in there and I'm having fitment issues. This tapered gasket has to come out. I take a little pick, hook it in there. Sometimes it gets stuck in there pretty good. Then just yank it out. Replace it with our gaskets that we supply. Rear primary, we'll go ahead and run the O2 wire across the back of the motor. Front primary, ready wire across the other side. Everything nice and loose, right? So keep this thing just like this, nice and loose. A lot of guys try to rotate this thing up here like this because they think it should be up nice and even around this cam cover. That's not the case. You need to let this thing relax down so those two pipes will come evenly together. Now with the bracket bolted on, we'll go ahead and start one of these pipes, pick the other one up, slide that into there. You should be able to still rotate your muffler to your bracket, get it nice and flat where we are here. Next I like to put the pipe springs on there. After we get these nice and seated here, pipe spring puller, pipe spring, makes this thing job a lot easier. Dog bone, bolts, washers. These are going to go in the bottom down here. All right. Slide that dog bone back down there. Put it in. Not going to completely snug those all the way down for now. We're going to go up here and tighten these flange bolts down. Remember to tighten these evenly. Recommended 99 inch pounds. That's inch pounds, not foot pounds. Now we can go ahead and snug this down. We already disconnected our forward control from our brake rod. Now we just need to get this placed into there. And after we get it in place, we can reattach the brake rod. Last, we need to hook our brake rod back to the pedal. One last check here before we go fire this thing up. Let's just go ahead and make sure that everything's nice and tight. Again, we'll follow up with that. All right. Touch up, make sure everything's good and tight. Make sure we ain't got nothing. Foot controls are bolted on. Brake rod bracket bolted to the brake pedal. Good to go there. Make sure these are tight. Last but not least, let's wipe all the oils down off of this thing on the coated stuff. You can use a denatured alcohol. It won't affect it. Just make sure you get all the oil prints off of these. Obviously, whatever oil is on there and you fire it up will contaminate the pipe. Now we just go here. 201 Sawicki speed for a Sportster 48 ceramic coated. Let's see what it sounds like.